Hi, Rosies. Welcome back. It's Ro.
And Z, and this is our second video in our productivity series, Get BeZee. Get it? Get BeZee. We're going to be discussing time blocking, so stay tuned. Welcome back, Rosies. So let's get into it. What is time blocking? Time blocking is an effective productivity technique in which you dedicate a certain amount of time for certain activities. So I work a very demanding job. I'm in the legal field. Everything I do is time sensitive and I have to take account of my time. So I never did time blocking before. I started actually last year. And how did I start time blocking? I started with cloth and paper. I was watching one of their Thursdays planner live shows, and I saw that they had a time blocking pad in one of in their subscription box for that month, and I was like, okay, I need to get that pad. I did, and from that point on I started time blocking. How I time block? I time block based on let me give you how I moved, because there's you have to tweak it to fit what you do. I used to time block based on the project that I'm doing. So for instance, if I'm drafting a motion, I will time block, well, I have this amount of time, an hour to complete that motion, or an hour from beginning to end to draft that motion. But what I found was that I was going back and forth. I was spending more time in the time blocking pad than actually doing drafting working on the assignment that I needed to work on. So I changed that. Instead of doing per task, I started time blocking the activity. So there's certain activities that I would suggest, if time blocking is something that you want to incorporate. First, dedicate what kind of activities you do during the day. I'm in meetings, I have hearings, I have, and then my meetings I change between internal meetings and external meetings. I have what I call light work, and I have what I call deep work. So those are the categories that I work with. And I have miscellaneous activities too, which is just filing and tidying up and, miscellaneous. So what I did is, in the mornings, as you can see here, inbox. That is the first thing that I do, generally speaking, every morning. And it takes me about half an hour. It's not something that takes me more than that. And by inbox, I really generally mean check my email. It depends on the email. Now, if I came back from vacation, is inbox is not going to be half an hour. It's more like 2 or 3 hours, considering the bulk of email that I get after that type of vacation. So anyway, I do that. Then the next category for me after inboxing would be drop off. I take my son to school, I come back to the office, and then I continue working from there. Now, I would suggest, there's a lot of things that, if you work in those types of jobs that Rocio has, it's kind of, it's routine, rudimentary type of thing, that on Tuesdays you do workups, on Fridays you do this, on Thursdays. So you may not need a time block pad, because you know what you're going to do every day within that date. But if you're like
Yes.
me, where your work is, you're putting out fires, and your work, you don't have that routine of everyday work, then maybe time blocking is something that you can incorporate to your job for better productivity. You were going to say something, Rocio?
Yes. Even though my job is pretty much routine, it's still good to time block because
Okay.
sometimes you can get carried away depending on how much work. I usually gauge it by how much work I have as well. So I like to time block because that way I can incorporate other things like the year to end balances and all that stuff. It works out. Even though I don't have my time block as detailed as yours, it does work out.
Yeah. So this is what I do, and it's been working for me. Again,
I see you have it color coded too.
I color like because now I know pink is inbox, I know green is meetings, I know and that's another thing I would say. Color code your time blocks. So you have an idea of what color is what, so you can immediately where you're gonna what you're gonna do. I'll tell you this though, I don't time block for the week because my week is so up in the air of what things to do. For instance, I may come in, I see on the calendar that I have a meeting at 10. At 9:50, I get a call. They want to cancel the meeting or they're going to reschedule. So I don't really time block at that the day before or week before. I generally do it the day of, and I gave myself time. So for instance, like I said, when I come in the morning, inbox, take my son to school, and then when I come back from that, I know it's going to be like around 8 o'clock that day. I'm gonna do okay for an hour. I'm just gonna do light work. Light work for me is uh, responding to emails or adding to my to-do list, following up on issues, that sort of stuff.
I have a
So
question because I
yes,
see that you have those little lines going down. Do you use a ruler? Because they look so straight.
cloth and paper, honey.
Okay.
They're acrylic ruler. Yes, I do. I'm the anal like that. And I put rulers here and I highlight it. I just want it to look neat. Cloth and paper also have time block stickers. As you can see, I kind of finished these off. But you could add it here. I think I have a few pages here with the time block. Yeah. Be careful before I burn
I
myself
know
here.
you want to set a fire.
So yes, you see here I use the
Put it up to the screen. There you go.
time block stickers there, and it just I don't know, I like the color, I like the personality. I have here, I use sticky notes, I use some of these sticky tabs, these colorful sticky tabs in my time block pad. I've used this for, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a year since I've had it, and I've used it up. I just gonna do a quick flip through. I there's not gonna be anybody to say that I don't use my time block. I try to use my time efficiently, so I use it. There, I do use it. So yes, this is my time block pad, and again, I encourage you guys, if you want to have better time management, enhance focus, hold yourself accountable. And even it helps with procrastination, because if you blocked out 2 hours for light work and there's an email, because there's some people that use like, man, I gotta sit here and think about how I'm gonna respond to this. That's the time to do it. So it also helps with that. So I encourage you in our second episode of Get BeZee to time block. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. And again, if you like the video, hit a thumbs up. And if you want to hear our banter, subscribe to the channel. Bye, guys.
Bye.